Recently, Burger King in China has faced ongoing troubles. In November, the company closed 10 stores in Fujian province, including 7 in Fuzhou and 1 each in Nangzhou, Ningde, and Putian. As of November 21, 2024, there are 1,599 Burger King stores in China, far fewer than its competitors, KFC with over 11,000 stores and McDonald's with over 7,000 stores. By the end of 2023, Burger King had 1,661 stores in China, and this year, despite opening over 100 new locations, it has shut down nearly 200 stores. Regarding the closures in Fujian, Burger King China explained that it was due to ending its partnership with a local franchisee, which led to the store closures. The franchisee, however, said the main reason was a significant drop in sales and serious losses. One franchisee shared that they invested around 3 million yuan, about $420,000 to open a Burger King, but operating costs were too high. With expenses like delivery, advertising, and labor, the store always lost money no matter how much it sold. Sales had dropped about 60% compared to 2019. In fact, the sales after the pandemic were worse than during the pandemic, and 2024's sales were 10% lower than in 2023, continuing a trend of losses since 2020. They also complained about poor quality ingredients, such as vegetables that were not fresh or even rotten, frozen patties that were broken upon arrival, and near-expired chocolate. However, Burger King responded by emphasizing its commitment to food safety and quality, stating that both company-owned and franchise stores follow the same supply chain system. There is no difference in sourcing, logistics, or support between the two types of stores. In early November, Restaurant Brands International, or RBI, the parent company of Burger King, sent a termination notice to Burger King's Chinese franchise operator, Tab Food Investments. Reports suggested that RBI was dissatisfied with Burger King's performance in the Chinese market. The closure of 10 stores in Fujian has led some analysts to speculate that it may be related to strong competition from local Chinese burger chains like Tastin and Wallace, which are based in Fujian. These local brands have a large number of stores and fierce market competition in the region. Some even claim that Burger King is being pushed out of Fujian by these local brands, with Tastin or Wallace stores often located near Burger King outlets, effectively surrounding and outcompeting them. Previously, Burger King had 18 stores in Fujian, but after these recent closures, only 5 remain in Fuzhou, and there are no more Burger King locations in other parts of the province. Some online sources have also reported that all Burger King outlets in Fuzhou are temporarily closed due to supplier issues, and only the company-owned stores are expected to remain open, while most franchises will likely shut down. The closures in Fujian reflect the broader challenges Burger King has faced in China in recent years, with stores closing across the country. For example, in late October 2024, Burger King permanently closed its first store in the Jiading district of Shanghai, which had been operating for almost 10 years. In April 2024, a store in Nanjing Central Commercial Area also quietly shut down. Industry experts suggest that Burger King has struggled in China since it first entered the market in 2005. It has always been stuck in the middle, squeezed by the dominance of McDonald's and KFC, and now faces tough competition from local brands. On top of that, China's current economic downturn and the trend of consumers seeking the best value for their money have made it even harder for Burger King to thrive in the market. In the 1980s and 1990s, as China opened up to economic reforms, international fast food giants began to target the Chinese market. KFC was the first to enter, opening in China in 1987, followed by McDonald's in 1990. These two brands marked the golden era of Western fast food in China and played a key role in shaping how Chinese consumers perceive fast food, becoming the go-to names for burgers. However, for Burger King, which entered China 15 years later, it missed the early opportunities and the best period for growth. Burger King's market positioning in China has been aimed at a mid to high-end audience. It primarily opens stores in first and second-tier cities, with pricing and positioning higher than McDonald's and KFC. Burger King struggled with its store location choices, which were often less ideal compared to its competitors. McDonald's and KFC's strategy was to establish a strong presence in key cities in high-traffic areas. Over the years, they built valuable networks and resources. This made it difficult for Burger King, which has similar positioning, to enter these prime commercial zones. Even when Burger King did enter popular areas, its stores were often tucked away in less visible corners. Moreover, while McDonald's and KFC rapidly expanded in China, Burger King's early years in the market were slow, with only 52 stores opened in its first 7 years. It wasn't until 2012 that Burger King in China began to accelerate its expansion under the Turkish food group, Tab Food Investments, or TFI, which took over its franchise operations. By 2014, the brand had 400 stores, and by 2018, it had surpassed 1,000 locations. At the end of 2018, Burger King set an ambitious goal for its future in China, planning to open 1,000 new stores over the next 3 years. In 2019, the company pushed hard and added around 300 new stores, bringing its total to 1,300. However, from 2020 to 2022, the number of Burger King stores in China stayed relatively stable, hovering around 1,400. In 2023, the brand again made a push, opening 400 new stores, with the highest numbers in Jiangsu, Guangdong, Shanghai, Beijing, and Zhejiang. But the survival rate for these stores after 12 months was only 93%, significantly lower than the usual 98%. By mid-November 2024, over 40 of these new stores had already closed, contributing to more than 15% of the total closures in 2024. As of now, Burger King has fewer than 1,600 stores in China, and in nearly 5 years, it has only added about 300 new locations, far slower than expected. When comparing store numbers, Burger King is not in the same league as McDonald's or KFC in China, and despite entering the market later, it has never caught up. From a management perspective, Burger King has faced challenges compared to McDonald's and KFC. Its approach to franchisee management has been more relaxed, with less oversight. This has led to problems ensuring consistent product and service quality. For instance, in 2020, during the annual 315 Consumer Rights Day program on CCTV, 6 Burger King stores in Nanchang were exposed for using expired ingredients and changing product labels to extend their shelf life. This caused a public uproar. Investigations reveal that one Burger King store, employees were deliberately serving fewer ingredients in their burgers to cut costs, such as reducing the amount of tomato or cheese. In one instance, when bread passed its expiration date, the store manager instructed workers to replace the expiry date label with a new one. The expired bread was then used to make burgers and sold to customers. Even during the hot summer months, when food can easily spoil, the store continued to alter the expiration dates. The investigation also uncovered similar practices at other Burger King locations in Nanchang, with expired chicken fillets and other items being relabeled and sold. Local customers had complained about the freshness of the ingredients, missing portions in their burgers, and even food poisoning incidents. Following the exposure, the local franchise partner, Nanchang Xinkai Catering Company, was fined by the local food safety authorities. The 6 affected stores were penalized with fines totaling over 900,000 yuan, and the company's legal representatives faced the maximum fines. In response, Burger King China set up a task force to address the issue, suspending operations at the affected stores and conducting inspections of over 1,000 outlets nationwide. Burger King also decided to revoke the franchise rights for the Nanchang Xinkai Catering Company and permanently closed one of its stores, while others were allowed to reopen after making necessary improvements. Additionally, Burger King terminated the company's rights to open new stores in the future. Despite Burger King's quick response, the damage had already been done. The exposure on the highly watched CCTV program had a massive impact, severely damaging the brand's reputation in China. On the other hand, Burger King has struggled to implement a successful localization strategy in China, which may be one of the key factors hindering its growth in the market. McDonald's and KFC has been more successful with their localization efforts. KFC, for instance, introduced Chinese breakfast items like congee, soy milk, and fried dough sticks, and over time tailored regional offerings to local tastes. These include selling hot dry noodles in Wuhan, double skim milk in Guangdong, meat dumplings in Fujian, and spicy soup in Henan. KFC's bold approach directly challenges local food vendors and has resonated with Chinese consumers. Burger King, on the other hand, has had less success with its attempts at localization. For example, its Sichuan-style and spicy crayfish burgers were met with disappointment. Consumers criticized them for not delivering the expected level of spice and flavor, with some saying the burgers tasted like a regular sandwich with just some chili sauce. These attempts were seen as a failure by many, highlighting the difficulty Burger King faces in adapting to local preferences. Apart from McDonald's and KFC, Burger King has also faced stiff competition from emerging Chinese burger brands like Tastin and Wallace, which have gained traction particularly in lower-tier cities. In recent years, other fast food brands have emerged in China, including premium and niche burger chains, making the competitive landscape even more challenging for Burger King. Additionally, in the context of a general consumer downturn, the price wars in the food industry have intensified. Chinese brands like Tastin, which focuses on offering low-cost meals with high value, have posed a significant threat to Burger King. Tastin's pricing, ranging from 12 to 25 RMB, is highly attractive to consumers, with promotions like 2 burgers for 13 RMB. Meanwhile, Burger King's average customer spend is higher, ranging from 28 to 35 RMB, which makes it less appealing, especially when factoring in additional delivery fees. In response, McDonald's and KFC have introduced value-oriented promotions like Crazy Thursday and budget meal deals. Burger King has followed suit with its signature Burger Week for 9.9 RMB offers. However, price cutting alone is not a sustainable strategy as it does not address the underlying costs of labor, rent, and ingredients, leading to potential financial losses, a concern highlighted by some franchisees. While Tastin and Wallace primarily target third and fourth tier cities, they are now expanding into first and second tier cities, challenging the market share once dominated by Western fast food brands. In recent years, the overall economic slowdown has made consumers more cautious with their spending, and this has affected the restaurant industry as a whole. Even premium burger brands like Shake Shack, often referred to as the Hermes of burgers, have struggled. Shake Shack, despite its backing from Yum China, has faced difficulties in China with its stores count dropping from 12 to just 1. In April, several netizens on social media reported that all Habit Burger Grill locations in Shanghai had closed. According to reviews, the 5 stores in the city had indeed shut down, leaving only the Chongqing Jiangbei Airport store as the sole remaining outlet in China. Habit Burger, which first entered China in 2017, initially opened its first Shanghai store at the revitalized Fuxing Soho. Over the next few years, it expanded to 7 locations in the city, but eventually scaled back. The brand's first store outside Shanghai opened in Hangzhou in 2019, but closed within a year. By 2023, only the Chongqing store remained operational. Similarly, Taco Bell also exited the Chinese market, with reports in May confirming the permanent closure of its Shanghai store. Media sources and customer service confirmed that this was a permanent closure. Following this, users from other cities such as Guangzhou and Nanjing also reported the closure of their local Taco Bell outlets. Taco Bell first entered China in 2003, but due to poor performance, it withdrew in 2008. It made a comeback in 2016 with its flagship store in Shanghai. Despite efforts to localize its menu, the brand struggled to align with Chinese consumer preferences, leading to a decline in its market presence. In June, the news that MOS Burger was exiting the mainland Chinese market attracted widespread attention. MOS Burger, with a 50-year history, is famous for inventing the rice burger and was once highly popular, becoming Japan's second-largest hamburger chain at its peak. At one point, it had more than 1,700 stores worldwide. MOS Burger first entered China in the early 1990s, but exited due to its poor performance. It re-entered the market in 2010 and expanded to over 300 stores. However, especially since the pandemic, MOS Burger has faced ongoing store closures, and this year it closed the last 6 stores it had remaining in China. In recent years, many international restaurant brands have been accelerating their exit from the Chinese market, making this a growing trend. Aside from well-known burger chains closing down, many other once popular foreign brands, especially in the bakery segment, have also been struggling. At the end of last year, Latao, a Japanese dessert brand famous for its popular desserts from Hokkaido, closed its store in Shanghai. Soon after, news came that all its stores in Shenzhen had also shut down. Currently, the brand has just 4 operating stores left in China, down from around 25 in cities like Shenzhen, Hangzhou, and Beijing at its peak. The Tao opened its first mainland China store in 2018, and the Shanghai store initially attracted long lines, with customers waiting up to 30 minutes before the line extended around the corner. Similarly, Le Notre, known as the pinnacle of French pastries, closed its last store in China in May last year, making its full exit from the market in less than 3 years. Before that, Lady M, often dubbed the Hermes of cakes, also ceased its operations in China. Customers used to queue for 6 hours to buy its desserts. The brand, which at one point had 26 stores across the country, ended its partnership with local agents and pulled out of the market. Beyond burgers and desserts, many other fast food and casual dining chains from overseas have also faced operational challenges and are struggling to survive in China. For example, Pepper Lunch, a popular Japanese teppanyaki chain, has closed some of its stores in the past 2 years. While it has not fully exited, the number of its locations has significantly reduced. Similarly, Waga's, a well-known chain serving Western food and bakery items, closed several stores in mainland China last year, including locations in Beijing and Nanjing. The decline of these once popular foreign food brands in China can be attributed to several factors, including poor localization, management issues, and rising competition from local brands. However, the most significant factors are the downturn in China's economy and weak consumer spending, which have led to chaotic and increasingly cutthroat competition in the restaurant market. In this fierce and fragmented environment, companies like Burger King face an even more difficult challenge in maintaining a foothold in the Chinese market.